I can move mountains for Casey. I can do anything for Casey. She is my life. She will always be my life. It doesn't matter that she's in heaven.
She lost her daughter 3 years ago in a horrific head-on collision in Shreveport on State Highway 3132. And since that day, Tammy Wilson, along with other heartbroken parents, have been pushing state officials to install cable median barriers along major highways, including 3132. Today, a bittersweet victory in the fight to keep other mothers and families from enduring the same pain. We've been reporting on the need for life-saving cable median barriers, actual cables designed to keep a car from crossing over those kind of accidents since 2012, when I first took a closer look at a violent head-on crash on Interstate 20 in Bossier Parish.
That fatal crash eventually led to cable barriers being installed along I-20 all across North Louisiana. And then a little more than a year later, another fatal crossover collision led to another life-saving push.
A push for more cable barriers, this time on another very busy, deadly stretch of highway. A push to save more lives in Casey's memory.
Doug, it's amazing because it still seems like it was yesterday. It really does.
For Tammy Wilson, yesterday is December 4th, 2013. The night her daughter, Casey Colley, was killed in a head-on crash on Louisiana State Highway 3132 in Shreveport.
There's nothing like a mother burying her child. No, there's just no words for it. I mean, it's a black hole.
Slowly, Tammy began filling that hole by joining a grassroots effort to convince the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development the importance of installing median barriers of the 1,000+ miles of cable and concrete barriers throughout Texas.
Casey was just a given soul.
So just weeks after Casey's death,
I just still want her here.
Tammy joined forces with Kelly Hatfield.
If it'll help any other parent from going through what I'm going through, I'm all for it.
And Rebecca Bartley. Kelly and Rebecca's teen children were inside an SUV in 2012 when the driver lost control on I-20 in Bossier Parish, slid across the grassy median, and slammed head-on into oncoming traffic. Kelly's daughter, Megan, was killed, and Rebecca's son, Jonathan, critically injured.
So we just have to stretch this one a lot.
Injuries he's fighting to overcome and will be for years to come.
Not only is it for Casey, this is for all of us.
These three began their push for safety barriers by talking to local lawmakers.
Losing a child is the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
And later, an entire chamber full of lawmakers in Baton Rouge.
This is where we need your immediate help.
And their persistence began to pay off. What once was a major void, cables that abruptly stopped as you entered Louisiana from Texas, has led to cable median barriers along I-20 stretching across nearly all of North Louisiana. And now, soon, along the 10-mile stretch of State Highway 3132, the first non-interstate highway in Louisiana to get them.
I was at the legislature when they would testify, and I remember before we got to this point what it was like.
Louisiana Transportation Secretary Dr. Shawn Wilson listened at the Capitol and made the trip to Shreveport to be a part of Tuesday's groundbreaking.
That day, I think people just felt somewhat helpless. How do we give them the money to do what they need to do?
This man and all of DOTD is behind me.
And on a day when the event had to be partially moved indoors because of the clouds and rain.
Look, the sun came out just for us.
That's Casey.
Somebody's shining down on us.
That's Casey shining down on us.
With Casey's help, the hope is to take total heartbreak.
We all had to say goodbye without really saying goodbye.
And help countless other families from ever having to go through the same thing.
And I appreciate you listening to our pleas and hearing our voices.
Tammy remembers the many miles, tears, and pleas it's taken.
And I'm like, guys, you know, I understand we need streets fixed. I understand we have potholes. I get all that. But are people dying because they hit a pothole? No.
To deliver what she feels all along has been a common sense argument. Vehicles traveling at high speeds become out of control missiles when sliding across grassy medians only 65 feet wide, like on 3132 where Casey was killed.
I was just there this weekend on 3132 at my daughter's marker. Two separate places, not a mile down the road. did we see heavy ruts in the median crossing over.
As we've reported before, neighboring Texas and many other states across the U.S. look at installing barriers, cable or concrete, anytime the median is 65 feet or less across. Well, Louisiana is apparently taking that up a notch. They're looking at every high-speed, highly traveled, divided highway, namely interstates, where that median is 100 feet or less. And that includes right here on I-49 in South Shreveport. In fact, it includes the entire stretch of I-49 in parts, from the Arkansas line all the way to South Louisiana.
This truly is a happy moment in our lives that we can rejoice. I can honestly say, as Casey's mom, my daughter didn't die in vain.
Thank you for honoring my daughter, Casey. I and her family and friends here today will never forget you. God bless you.
In addition to I-49, Louisiana DOTD also tells me the I-220 North Loop around Shreveport-Bossier has also been selected to receive cable barriers in the near future. And on a personal note, I've had the honor of working with Tammy, Kelly, and Rebecca for the last few years, documenting their plight and sadly their heartbreak. With that said, there was one moment at today's groundbreaking that truly caught me off guard.
All of the wonderful people I've come in contact throughout my journey are dedicated people, such as Doug Warner. I would like to say especially thank you. He's a local reporter and news anchor with KSLA News, who actually won an Emmy in conjunction with Where Are the Road Barriers? Doug has been a key element in spearheading the whole reason we are here today at the groundbreaking ceremony.
Truly surprising and moving to hear that. It's been my honor again to share their stories, and I'm extremely happy for them as their 3- and 4-year fight for cable barriers has become a reality, not just in Northwest Louisiana, but now all across Louisiana.